wanted to do something about female cliques and how they function and so on. I mean, I remember being incredibly conscious of it as a child, of the way we all arranged one another and how there were always these girls who we would look up to and these dominant cliques and so on. And then when my eldest started primary school and I was back in the playground again, I thought, oh, blimey, here we are again. It's exactly the same. There's a popular group, and a sporty group, and a teacher's pet group, and a rebels behind the bike sheds group. I thought, how funny. And then I started getting involved with the fundraising, which is has enormous comic potential. I think it's everybody who has ever done any kind of volunteering or fundraising would agree. And I thought this would make a very funny novel. However, you know, I didn't do anything about it at all. That was 20 years ago, nearly, and I did nothing about it. I had a child who wasn't having a very nice time at school, and we sat down and watched Mean Girls together. And I said, you know, it's exactly the same for the mums. We're all the same. You know, it does function. We all function like that wherever we are. It's not just school, and it's not just mothers at playgrounds. It's women in female-only offices, and it's NCT classes and book groups and so on. I mean, somebody said to me, they read the book and said, I feel like you've been spying on my dog walking group. I said, I didn't even know there was such a thing as a dog walking group. But, you know, she was having all this trouble in her. And then it said at the end of Mean Girls, it's based on queen bees and wannabes, so which I thought must be a novel. But anyway, I got it, and it's this fantastic book about by a psychologist about girls and how they relate to one another. And I thought, but we could do this about adults. And then I contacted the Newbury Beekeepers Association, which was, you know, more direct in a way. And I spent a very happy morning up in Inkpen, where some beekeepers opened their hives, and I was blown away by the similarities between bees in the hive and how we function. And it all went much deeper than I expected it to. I'd actually started writing at that point. And I was using sort of cigarettes as a metaphor for people who wanted to keep away from all the others. And then hadn't sort of worked out that in fact they use smoke to control bees, that smoke is the one thing that earnest little worker bees are terribly scared of, because, you know, obviously it means fire. And the segregation of the queen from everybody else and the way they surround the queen, and there's always this posse surrounding the queen and protecting her. And the way she does absolutely nothing. And they do everything for her. Oh, goodness gracious me.
Who do you most identify with of the characters?
Well, Georgie, I think.
It is
Georgie. But I couldn't do the... I've got a wonderful cleaning lady. I couldn't do the chaos. I couldn't do the domestic chaos. Although, left to my own devices, I think it would be a lot more chaotic than it is. But her ethos of being completely happy with, you know, having kids and finding great creative satisfaction from running a home and a family, I completely get her. It's interesting doing something for the first time. When I was 54 last week, so I'm ancient actually to be doing anything at all for the first time. But it's quite interesting.
The fact that your husband and your brother are both novelists already, did that kind of spur you on, or has that perhaps held you back a little bit?
It certainly didn't spur me on. I wonder if it has held me back for a while. But then on the other hand, I think I'm a very late developer, really. And I didn't really write a novel before because I don't think I had the confidence to do it. I certainly didn't have anything to say. But I did think, well, I'll be the kind of lame one that doesn't do very well at it. I didn't have a publisher at all. I had an agent, and she said, yes, very good idea. I mean, I just got the agent on that, and I said, well, shall I just write a little bit and you go off and sell it? And then she said, if you're going to write the whole thing, well, I'm never going to do that, am I? And then to my astonishment, I found that I did. I got to a tipping point, and I was about sort of 15,000 words in, where from that point on, I kind of had to finish it. You know, they all seemed to be existing and up and running and functioning, and I had to get them to the end of their story. And And I remembered that she'd said that, you know, that you can just take 3 or 4 families in an English village and well, what she did, you know, was make stories that are eternal and universal and unbelievably commercial, as well as being deeply profound. Certainly, I did not expect to sell it anywhere else apart from England. I wasn't sure it was going to sell in England. I certainly wasn't thinking film rights or anything. I was just sort of hoping that I might vaguely have approximately written a book. That was my ambition. The idea that people are buying it in Brazil and Germany and South Korea and stuff does make it sort of seem that it does have a universal application, which, I mean, to be honest, I wouldn't have made it so incredibly uncompromisingly English if I thought actually it was a world market, but, you know, they wouldn't be watching Lewis on ITV3 and eating Maltesers, but there we are, they are.
For that.
Well, she just has that sort of effortless perfection, doesn't she, that makes all of us go, ah. And she's currently, you know, we've all been sort of, everybody's had a sort of universal crush on her for years, and now it's slightly going off, and now everybody, you know, she gets endlessly sort of picked on in the way that we do. We love them for about 3 years, and we don't really. And then the Heather character, I've always had Olivia Colman in my mind, but if it's an American film, that wouldn't sort of work necessarily, but I think she has just the right sort of self-effacing. Utter spur of the moment, actually. Were you already married? We had 2 small children, 2 children under the age of 3, and Fardland had just come out, and it was incredibly successful. But we didn't seem to even be able to go out and go out to dinner because we were so sort of snowed in by babies and things, and so we thought we'd buy a country cottage. And then this suddenly came on the market unexpectedly, and we ended up buying this. Of course, we never went back to London. So, well, Robert certainly never went back to London.
No.
And then I was commuting to nursery school for about 3 weeks, and I thought, well, it's very ridiculous. So we lived here ever since.